Beneath the polished floors and cheerful chatter of St. Helena's Academy, beneath its trophies, crisp uniforms, and posters preaching excellence, something ancient breathed. Not lived. Not slept. Breathed. Slow. Deep. Patient. The school existed in layers, bustling students, stern teachers, bells chiming with routine, all resting on top of a truth buried in stone and soil. A truth older than the academy. Older than the town. Older than memory. Something waited in the dark below. Something hungry. Long before St. Helena's Academy rose with its crimson brick and tall windows, the land was a marsh, black, whispering, a place where fog clung to the earth like a second skin. Locals called it the Swallamore, a place said to swallow whatever wandered too close. Travelers avoided it. Animals skirted it. The ground was rumored to pulse when the moon was low, like a creature breathing beneath the mud. But progress doesn't believe in superstition. Developers drained the marsh, laid roads, and announced the land ready for construction. Yet the workers who laid the school's foundation were uneasy from the beginning. Their hammers rang hollow, as though striking something living and resentful. Some claimed they heard knocking from below. Others whispered it wasn't echo, something was answering. A few quit immediately. Others stayed silent but refused to work alone. Still, the school was built. Students arrived. Life continued. But the land never forgot the disturbance. And it certainly never forgave. St. Helena's built a reputation of achievement and discipline. Parents praised it. The community adored it. But every few years, one student disappeared. Quietly. Completely. Cleanly. No signs, no struggle, no footprints, just absence. A name crossed out. A room reassigned. A desk emptied. School officials labeled them runaways. Police shrugged them off. But the students whispered the truth under blankets after lights out: St. Helena's forgets people. And when the school forgot you, you didn't come back. Amara Wills didn't believe in ghost stories. A scholarship student with sharp eyes and a sharper mind, she prided herself on logic and didn't let fear dictate anything. 16 years old, fiercely intelligent, stubbornly rational, she was everything the school admired on paper. Her best friend, Elias Granger, was the opposite: quiet, anxious, constantly fiddling with his red thread bracelet, always worried something was lurking just out of sight. But he was loyal, gentle, and the only one who could soften Amara's edges. They balanced each other. Until the day he vanished. It happened on an ordinary autumn Thursday. Rain misted the windows, fog smeared the campus edges. Elias sat beside Amara in second-period English, sketching absent-mindedly in his notebook. He had been restless for days, jumping at small sounds, tapping his fingers in strange patterns, complaining of dreams he couldn't remember but always woke from shaking. When the bell rang, Amara began packing her books. She spoke to him. He didn't respond. When she looked up, Elias wasn't there. His backpack was still under his chair. His jacket draped neatly over it. His phone face down beside his open notebook. His pencil rolled slowly as if he had just set it down. But Elias was gone, vanished between second and third period without a trace. Teachers insisted he went home early. Police claimed he ran away. Amara knew better. Elias never walked off alone. And never without his bracelet. Except, when she checked his desk, the bracelet was gone. Somehow, that terrified her more than anything else. That night, Amara couldn't sleep. She lay awake listening to the radiator hum and the occasional footsteps in the hallway. Then she heard it. Tap. 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 Soft, rhythmic, coming from the floorboards beneath her bed. She sat upright, breath frozen. The tapping continued, growing clearer each night, always just as she was drifting off. And then, just when she believed stress was making her hallucinate, she heard a whisper riding beneath the tapping. A voice like cracked leaves dragged across pavement. Amara, she told no one. Everyone was acting strange anyway. Teachers were forgetful. Students avoided the topic. Some flinched at the sound of Elias's name, saying they didn't know who she meant. It was like the school was erasing him. And fury, not fear, took root inside her. If the school wouldn't look for her friend, she would. 3 nights after his disappearance, the tapping grew louder, leading her across campus when she pressed her ear to the ground. She followed it barefoot, gripping a flashlight, slipping out of her dorm into the cold night. The sound pulled her toward the east wing, down the back staircase, to an old metal door stamped, "Maintenance only, do not enter." The tapping vibrated through the steel. Her hands trembled as she turned the handle. Cold, wet air blasted her face, sharp with the scent of rust and rot, like old blood and stagnant water. The walls dripped with condensation that pulsed down in slow beads. Pipes twisted across the ceiling like metallic veins. The floor was slick, reflecting her light in warped patches. Beneath everything was a hum, steady, deep, pulsing like a heartbeat. Not hers. Not the building's. Something else's. The tapping echoed from deep inside the room. Amara followed the sound until her flashlight landed on a figure crouched beside a broken pipe. Skeletal. Pale. Its limbs too long, its joints twisted as though they'd been rearranged. Its skin sagged in places, stretched tight in others. Its eyes, wide, milky, empty, snapped toward her. And its mouth, stitched shut with rusted wire, skin puckered and torn around the crude threading. Its fingers, long, bony, yellowed at the tips, drummed the pattern she had heard every night. Tap. 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 The creature froze when her light hit it. Slowly, with unsettling grace, it lifted its head. And through the wires lacing its mouth, a voice seeped out, strained, wet, unnatural. "Help, me," Amara stumbled back, her flashlight trembling. The creature crawled toward her, dragging itself with jerky, misaligned movements. Then she saw something that stole the breath from her lungs. On its thin wrist hung a bracelet. Red thread. Elias's bracelet. "Elias," she whispered, voice cracking. The creature's hand reached toward her, shaking violently, as if fighting itself. Her flashlight flickered. Once. Twice. Darkness swallowed everything. A scream erupted, inhuman, deafening, making pipes vibrate and dust shower from above. Amara ran blindly toward the door, slammed it, and collapsed against it, choking on her breath. On the other side, claws scraped metal. And the creature whispered her name. Over. And over. And over again. The next morning, the school behaved as though nothing happened. Students laughed. Teachers lectured. The sun rose warm and uncaring. But the world had shifted. Elias's desk was gone. His name erased from every list. His photo removed from the dorm bulletin board, leaving only a pale rectangle behind. Teachers blinked in confusion when Amara questioned them. No student named Elias Granger attends this school. Even his roommate denied knowing him. The erasure was complete. And it was happening faster than before. Something in the school had changed. Something was hungry. Over the next week, Amara noticed more strange occurrences. Shadows that stretched in the wrong direction. Reflections in windows that lingered a moment too long before copying her movements. Footsteps behind her in empty hallways. Sometimes she felt a pulse under her feet, as though the ground itself was breathing. She woke one night to the smell of rust filling her dorm room. Her floor was damp, her sheets cold and clammy. She sat up gasping as something brushed her ankle. Fingers. Long ice cold. She screamed, scrambled backward, and the sensation vanished, but the smell of rust lingered heavy in the air. The next morning, Amara Wills was gone. Vanished the exact way Elias had. Her dorm room remained untouched, lamp still on, bed rumpled, shoes neatly by the closet. Only her notebook sat open on her desk. The final page contained a frantic confession in jagged handwriting: "It's not a creature. It's us. The forgotten feeds on who the school forgets." Beneath the words, taped to the page, was a single red thread. Years passed. New students arrived. The school's reputation remained glowing. Administrators denied that anyone had ever disappeared. But sometimes, at night, when the wind stilled, students in the East Wing heard tapping beneath the floor, faint, frantic, almost pleading. Some said it was old pipes. Others swore they heard names whispered softly in the dark, voices trying to remember themselves. And every now and then, when the old bell rang and the floorboards trembled ever so slightly, a metallic scent drifted through the hallways. Rust. Rot. Memory. If you stopped walking, held your breath, and listened closely, you could hear it, a whisper beneath your feet, soft and sorrowful. Thank you for remembering.